Now, the rest of the story.
See me rolling. They hate it. Rock and roll. Alright. Welcome back to the rest of the disaster. I'm just joking. Welcome back to the rest of the story. And I'm in the 4640. The duals are off. The planter's gone. Come here, buddy. The dog is just chilling. Ugh. As you guys all know, these sound guard cabs are not really designed for people. Ugh. There we go. Let alone your big fluffy teddy bear. Who's your good boy? Yeah, you're a good boy. You'll be fine. We got about 45-minute drive. The chances of me talking this whole ride is pretty unlikely, but we'll see what I can do. The seat on the 46, I really haven't said much about it. Yep, grind them gears. Grind it till you find it. The 4640 has a seat issue. The fact that it, Dad and Ryan are heading to pay bills and pick me up. I know my camera isn't exactly centered. I still got that mount for the planter monitor in there, and the X grip mount is not letting me get my camera exactly where I want it. So doesn't matter that much. I think you can see me, probably hear me. The seat on the 4640, we're not really sure what it is. We had the local John Deere dealership down here working on it, and they had it fixed to the point where, I'm just going to tell you what happened last fall. We started to notice it was taking a lot of time to lift, to suspend, and phew. By the time this spring come around, it got to the point where it really didn't want to lift at all. It'd take a good 30 seconds for it to actually, pick up, because this isn't a mechanical suspended seat. So they came down before planting, changed some stuff, updated some parts, because that's always the best. And that's not good. No, we're good. That's not good. I gotta get out. Really don't need that wiring. My planter globe, or my globe harness, rubbing against the tires is kind of very much bad. Let me hop out and fix that, and I'll get back to you. Yeah, this could turn into a little bit more of an adventure than I was planning on, or I thought it would. Well, I didn't do it any favors. I don't think I ruined it, but it's missing a piece of plastic, or at least part of the covering. And listen to all them horses. And we got enough road ahead of us to really let the horses gallop, right? The tractor runs about 19 miles an hour. It doesn't hit 20. The reason I know that is because of the planter monitor, and the RTK. It reads your speed going down the road. So the mechanic from Sloan's come down, updated parts, and did this and that, and it would pressurize and pick the seat up, but it had no suspension. So the only real cushion I had, like right now, is literally just the cushion in the seat, which is better than what our grandpas had when they were riding around in those new at the time tractors, right, where all they had was a metal seat and a spring suspension. But for how I was feeling that first week of planting, plus having no suspension in the seat, and you're feeling every little bump going across the field, made spring planting kind of drag on. So the planting is done. I think I've already covered that in my last video. Drop the planter off, duals off, monitor, globe, steering, be on track. automatic steering controller, and we're gonna have this get some work done to it. It's easier just to take it up and have them work on it up at the shop. I mean, I think right now they're kind of thinking it's something with the new parts they put in. Or I don't want to say that. Well, it is. He does think it's something to do with the springs. There's a check valve in there, and you can adjust the pressure of the spring. I'm still kind of trying to figure that out. So what can we talk about for 45 minutes? Because I think that's what this is going to take. Traffic is terrible. The intersection by the home farm, we got a detour from a road north of us. They got that all blocked off, and it's detoured down past us to get to Platteville. So the traffic is currently ticking above worse than what it was before everything that went on last year. So that's kind of annoying, especially for not even just machinery traffic, because when you get cars and stuff with people that have no idea, even though this is a agricultural area, that have no idea how to react and drive around machinery. And rolling stop. Nailed it. We get in the back road, so hopefully the cars won't be too bad. This is the first rain that we've had, significant rain we've had in probably going on 2 weeks, week and a half, definitely. And crops are really starting to come up. A little bit more uneven emergence than what a guy would like to see, but I think a lot of that has to do with making sure that the seed was getting down into moisture when you were planting. This is the first year in a while. I mean, this is only my real second year planting everything. But even like clear back to growing up, with Dad running the 6-row and all that, or the 4-row, actually adjusting the seed depth down to make sure that we're getting the seeds more consistently in the moisture so they can at least get germinated. Because, quick learning moment, I do believe, I read in an article somewhere, that it takes a quarter of the seed's weight in water to germinate. Don't quote me on that, but that sounds almost close enough to accurate to say that it's probably right. So what are we looking forward to this year? Better grain prices. I can't really brag or complain too much about grain prices because they are still up. $5 something corn. I think we're $13 corn, soybeans for this fall. So we're sitting pretty good there. I'm looking forward to making hay. Now I'm gonna sit and rant on hay a little bit, not in a bad way, but I've made it pretty clear I don't miss dairy. And that's one thing that growing up milking cows is we pretty much decided right away, or early enough on, that I'd much rather raise crops and cattle than have to milk cows in an antiquated barn. So when the estate sold off the dairy cows, it really didn't hurt anybody's feelings around here, that's for sure. But back to taking the duals off the tractor and all that, was back when I was growing up, the duals came off so we could get the chopper and all the hay making equipment, or the forage making equipment out and ready to go so we can start making cattle feed. Now, I don't mind making cattle feed, don't get me wrong, but I don't miss making cattle feed for dairy cows. I don't want to raise a lot of beef cattle. I mean, honestly, the way it's looking right now, my beef herd is gradually but surely disappointing me, but I think a lot of that, I'm going to put the majority of the blame on myself, because what did I expect when I went and bought somebody else's reject cattle? I mean, it's a bred cow sale. You don't know what you're buying. You don't know why they sold their cattle. I sold all but 3 of my heifers, so my little red Myrna calf and sorry, Myrna. The beef, heifers, plus my steers. I sold them all. Couldn't really argue it, especially with the kind of prices that we got for them. It's good money. I mean, I'm not obligated to sit and discuss finances, so made more money selling them than what it was worth keeping them around, largely because I wasn't happy with them. I didn't like the way they looked. Small framed, just small cattle all around. They were getting a steady dose of grain, feed, dry hay, and they just weren't performing. They weren't gaining, and I was planning on I am putting a bull in with the other three that I kept in August 1st. So they will be, all three of them, because the ones I kept are the three biggest, oldest. They will be over a year old before they're let in with the bull. So by the time August 1st comes around, they're out on grass, they're getting all the feed they could possibly want. Another rolling stop, don't mind that. When they're in with the bull, hopefully the bull can get taking care of business, and I'll have some calves next summer. My actual herd, my bred cows, my stock cows, they've been in with the bulls, Dad's and Ryan's, because not really how any cattleman would want to do it, but we had to get them away from Dad's herd, Ryan's herd, had no place to go with them, so I just said to put them in with my cows. They aren't going to hurt anything. I mean, they're going to throw off my pregnancy schedule as far as getting them bred and all that, because I do have those 6 cows that are open for sure. What's really starting to bug me is the fact that it's the middle of May, May 18th, and I haven't had any calves yet. Don't really see any of them that are starting to show like they're starting to get close to calving. So I'm a little irritated there. But to go right back to talking about crops and feed, the reason I'm looking forward to making hay is because a bunch of my hay isn't just cattle feed, it's a crop. I look at making hay because it is a crop that I can manage, a crop that I can sell. So I wrap it right in there with corn and soybeans. I got the fertilizer down. I reseeded some of the 35 acres approximately of the heavy clover and the light grass stand with that coon drill. I'm going to end up taking you guys down and showing you the results of that, because this rain is exactly what I needed. It's a week today or tomorrow, so it's either 6 or 7 days since I seeded that down. The grass seed is sitting in dry dirt. It wasn't doing anything. So this rain should at least get my grass growing. That 30 or so acres I'm not going to be making until July for certain, and that's probably going to be the last first cut we make to make sure that the grass that does grow up, it does get a good enough start, and then hopefully by the time second cut, September or so, is due to be made, the regrowth is going to be there and ready to grow. I do have a little bit of ground, like 3 or 4 acres, down there yet, that I might go through this fall after second cut, late summer after, before harvest, and drag the disc across it, work up that top couple inches, and then go down and seed about 30 pounds to the acre of a grass mix of some sorts, again, for the lighter parts of that field where there's more dirt there than there is actual grass, but enough grass there where I don't want to knock out or terminate the grass that is there. It's still going to produce. So corn and beans are up. The crop is coming up. Not everything's 100% emerged. The last stuff that we planted is just under the surface. So after this, and and they're calling for 70 and 80 degree weather days. I think the crop's gonna be doing great. Gonna try to do some shop work videos or shed work videos. Round baler hasn't been touched since I unhooked it from the tractor last fall. New $1,200 PTO shaft should take a lot of the vibration out of it, which is more than likely what took out that $2,300 gearbox last summer. So, looking for a lot of that vibration to be gone. I gotta go get a tote of hay preservative. I got some belts coming for the round baler, and I got a bunch of random parts I gotta get ordered here. So basically all the haying equipment has to be gone through, but it's gonna be June before we really look at cutting anything. They're calling for rain for the rest of this month. A little bit running off the road here, but the ground is so dry, and as long as this rain comes down in a nice steady rain, we got some puddling right there already. And I think that it's going to do that ground a whole lot of good. Get a little bit of a reserve built up as far as getting some of that moisture in the ground. Last little thing about the valley, I know I haven't really said much about it, but I did buy a sprayer for the back of the gator. I'll have to show you guys what it is and how it's set up, because it is pretty awesome. There was a $1,400 sprayer plus another $200 and some for the boomless sprayer that I had to buy separate. And it's two 45-gallon tanks mounted in the back of the sprayer, or in the gator, on a base that was made specifically for the back of the gator. Super simple to be put in, even simpler to take back out, especially with the boomless part on it. It's 90 gallons of spray. When you're covering 32 feet at a pass, and the booms are, you can shut each of the nozzles off for doing fence rows and whatnot. The spray that I was putting down, within 24 hours, and the weeds are dropping over. I bought that largely for the pastures, but I ended up spraying about 70 acres down at the valley with it. I mean, I didn't do the newly seeded stuff, of course, but it was basically just to take out weeds and broadleaves, dandelions, and I actually covered a lot of the actual valley. And for how dry it is here lately, I actually had fun. I had probably blue sky, sunny, and cruising across the valley going 8 miles an hour with that sprayer. Just living my best life, I guess, because it was a lot of fun. The ground was dry. There wasn't any soft spots other than the ones that I knew should have been there. And even some of the areas that were soft that are normally there were dry. So I actually had a lot of fun down there, driving in places I've never driven down there before. And that's one upside, I guess, to a dry spell, or a longer than preferred dry spell. Don't want to dare say drought. But it actually opens up a lot of that ground down there that I can actually make hay off of it. A lot of nice first cutting coming up on it already that I'd actually have a lot of fun making it. It's a big difference going from making hay just for feed to feed a bunch of animals that you really didn't care about, talking about dairy cattle, to making feed, to hopefully being able to make it to turn a profit. The beef cows, they actually didn't eat as much of my first cut as I really thought they would. They're still going to finish it up. I only got about 16 bales left, but I think I need to switch some things up going forward here yet. Not entirely sure what it's going to be as far as any big major purchases on my end. I'm pretty well done. That sprayer, I think, was the last real one, other than fertilizer. I'm not going to skimp out too much on fertilizer, because that is a huge difference between producing 1 tons or 3 tons to the acre hay. I mean, I'll try to show you guys that to a line in the fields or in the pasture or in where I've spread, where the fertilizer hit and where there hasn't been any fertilizer. I mean, literal night and day difference. And grass is a crop, and growing up, I mean, why bother, you know, right? But oh well. I don't want to just sit and talk about making hay or making grass, but as of right now the planting is done, it's cultivating and making hay for the rest of the year, the rest of the summer. So hopefully we can get the 46 back in short order. I don't think it'll be too long. And really nice, good job planting. Glad we're getting this rain. Oh, I just got a compliment from my agronomist. See, that's what really matters, is working with people that you don't despise. So Andrew at Nutrient, anybody that's in the area looking for an agronomist actually gives a damn about your crop, call them up. So yeah, makes a big difference working with an agronomist that you actually enjoy talking to. So I'm actually running out of things to say, and we're already coming up on over 20 minutes, so I think that's enough for this video. I'm gonna try to probably zone out. I'm not even halfway to Bloomington. Why didn't we haul this up here versus just driving it? That's probably quicker. By the time they get a truck or somebody lined up to haul it up and charging us to do it, I mean, it's a couple $100 just to haul it. Yeah, we're wear and tear on the engine and the tires, but windshield time is a great time. It's raining out. It's one of those lazy days. I'm really starting to feel like it, so I don't really get too worked up about burning off the tires. I mean, growing up, our farthest farm was what, 9-10 miles away from the farm. That was our own little world that we always were in. Now we're starting to rent ground and stuff like that, and we're starting to actually get out and drive around the country. I'm okay with buying tires, as opposed to stressing out about a little bit of tire wear. So you got to replace them a little sooner than not. As long as I'm doing it and making money, it's worth it. Oh, the traffic's starting to back up. Well, for those of you watching, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Stay tuned for more farming fun, some repair work. I'll keep you guys a little bit updated on that. And I'm going to get back to driving. So until next time, take care, take it easy, keep in touch. I'll talk to you later.